Well, she was young and good to look at. She was a daughter of a chief, and her quill work was the finest in the land. And the young men came to court her with their blankets and their flutes, and they rode her father horses for hay. And their tribe was called the Cheyenne, and they lived upon the plains, and their lodges were made of buffalo. And she was such a beauty that no man could resist, but her heart, oh, it stayed cold as the snow. She was called the Raven, and her hair was long and black, and she waited for that warrior who never did come back. Out on the trail, so long it seems, and the only time he came to her was at night in her dream. Now she would see that warrior riding, and the wind was in his hair, and she longed to be with him by his side. And his bow was raised and ready, and his arrows, they were true, and his pony was ready for the ride. But now her father grew impatient and said she must be wed, and to lay all her memories to rest. But Raven could not bear just how her life would be, so late that night she took off to the west. Now she walked across the prairie, but days went no end, and that warrior was with her every thought. And she knew down in her soul that he was still alive, and that somewhere, oh, he must have gotten caught. She was called the Raven, and her hair was long and black. Oh, she went to find that warrior who never did come back. Out on the trail, so long it seems, and the only time he came to her was at night in her dream. Well, now first she smelled the smoke, then Raven saw the camp, and she crept up as quiet as a snake. And her heart soared like a hawk, 'cause there before her eyes was that warrior tied up on a stake. Now she knew she must be careful, or it would cost their lives, so she waited for the darkest part of night. And as that moon shone down, well, she slipped into the camp with a prayer on her lips and her knife. Now the warrior, he was failing. He could not believe his eyes as Raven stood there by his side. And when she cut his ropes, well, he tumbled to the ground. He was much too weak, he could never ride. And now the camp was in an uproar, and she said, "Grandfather, please, won't you come and hear my prayer?" Oh, she cried, "Give me wings so I may fly and carry my warrior through the air." And the night was torn apart, and the sky was filled with fire, as Raven and the warrior flew away. And she took him to the land of legends and dreams, and the old man tells the story to this day. She was called a Raven, and her hair was long and black, and she went to save that warrior who never did come back. Out on the trail, so long it seems, now they'll always be together in our legends and our dreams. In our legend, oh, in our dreams.